today's video is very late at night and I bet it'll be Christmas morning before I actually get to do this. And before it goes up. But today's video I thought I'd talk about Christmas with, self-harming and eating disorders and depression and your mental health in general, but mainly focused on eating disorders. Because when you have an eating disorder, Christmas is focused quite a lot of the time around the food. And if you have an eating disorder, it can be the most stressful time and you don't enjoy it, and that it doesn't help. So I've got a list here of what you can do to help yourself over the Christmas period, how you can just try and enjoy it a little bit more. And if you do, find yourself getting anxious, there's some tips here to kind of help you. Oh, and I have a Christmas hat on. I never wear Christmas hats. I will be vlogging tomorrow, so you can see all my presents and everything. Right. So, number one, first tip, relaxation. So, if you're getting anxious and you're getting stressed, work out what is making you anxious. So basically, work out what it is that's making you stressed and making you anxious before you completely freak out and have a panic attack. That's the best thing to do, because once you work out, you can kind of help yourself, and knowing what that trigger was that's made you get uptight and anxious can really help. And then the next thing to do with that is to breathe. Now it sounds a bit ridiculous. You're gonna go, Becky, I know how to breathe. I'm not silly. Breathing can help so much. You just need to take a deep breath in and out slowly. Don't breathe like you normally do. Just take it in and out. And do it slowly like that, because then you're actually helping yourself and helping that anxiety get back down to a normal level where you don't feel quite so anxious. And it can just help with the thought of everything, and it can just help you bring yourself back down to earth a little bit. So yeah. Number two. This one I think is really important. It definitely helps with myself, is prepare ahead of time. So a lot of the time with families, you kind of know what's going to be there, you know what the food is going to be. So prepare, and if you're going to somebody else's house, maybe decide to bring something. You make something and bring it, because then at least you kind of know what's in it, you know the calories, I'm not saying that you should be counting calories at all, but what I am saying, if it helps you to get through the day, then do it. Take that food that you've made and take it with you. Talk to your mum, talk to your dad and say, look, I'm really, really struggling. Could you just tell me what we're having? And kind of ask and talk to them. If your mum and dad are good like that, you can always talk to them and say, I am really struggling. And I'm sure they'd be more than welcome to help you out. And also just prepare for what's going to be okay for you, and just prepare for what's going to be okay in general for you to enjoy Christmas, enjoy the food aspect of it, because it's so difficult. It is so difficult when you have an eating disorder and you can't enjoy it. It's awful. Number three, take care of ourselves. Take time for ourselves. If you want to get your nails done, go and get your nails done. If you want to have some time to yourself, that is okay. You're allowed to have time to yourself. Just make sure the time isn't based around negative things that have happened, if that makes any sense. All the lead up to Christmas is always based upon other people. You're buying presents for other people, you're making cards for other people, you're you know, you're cooking dinner for other people, you're getting the food for other people so they can come round. It's all based upon other people. You're allowed to take care of yourself and make sure you're okay before you go on to Christmas, because if you don't take care of ourselves, it could make the day 10 times worse than it needs to be. Once we feel happy that we're kind of relaxed and we've had that time to look after ourselves, it can make the day go so much smoother. Number 4, this one I do like. Make a list to distract yourself. At Christmas, there's going to be so many triggers around. I always find at Christmas there's more triggers around. So just make sure you have got a list. So say if you like reading a book, read a book, even if it's just a chapter, you can read that. Or if you like to walk, I'm not saying completely go over the top. Just go for a walk, just to, you know, get some space and get some air. That's okay to do. And the thing with that, I think, always around Christmas, have a friend on hand to call. If you're not seeing them on Christmas Day or anything, make sure you're able to call them, or make sure you're able to speak to somebody and say, I'm getting very anxious, I'm stressed, I don't know what to do, and talk to them. They're there for a reason. And your parents, if you have good communication with your parents, talk to them about how you're feeling and tell them the truth. Don't bottle everything up, because that makes it worse. Bottling things up doesn't help anyone, and it can often make things worse for yourself, and you don't want that. You want to enjoy the day. Christmas is about celebrating, and you want to be able to enjoy that. So that's my list of things to help with Christmas. I hope that did help. Yeah, I think the best one for me is to be able to take time for myself and breathe, because I've had quite a few panic attacks this week just thinking about Christmas, and I think I need to be aware of what is okay for me, what I can allow myself, how will I get through this day. That's what you need to think about. I will, as I said, be vlogging tomorrow, hopefully, so because I want you guys to see what I open, and you might even get to see my mum on camera. There was another bit that I was going to do. The other thing was, if you do get urges to self-harm and things like that, make sure you have this list, because it goes hand in hand. They're both ways of hurting yourself. So make sure you've got that list to help you get through the day at least. Make sure you have it handy, and make sure you use it with both your eating disorder and the self-harm, because it could really come in handy, and I don't want any of you to be having a bad day. I don't want you guys to go through all that. So even if I know that you have taken on board what I've said and to try and help, it might not help. I'm not saying it's gonna magically work. I'm not saying that at all. I don't know how tomorrow's gonna be for me, because it's so stressful, but give it a go and do let me know if it worked for you. So yeah, I will hopefully get my mum on camera tomorrow, which will be good. My stepdad won't go on camera. But yeah, I will do an update. I will do a proper update tonight maybe. I don't know when. We'll have to see.